Yeah. So, and if you realize that the net realizable value is lower than the cost, you have to write it down. Yeah, you have to write it down. So the question here is, the cost is clear, of course. Cost is more or less, that's the book value, that's a value on the balance sheet for your inventories. The question is, what is the net realizable value? Definition of the net realizable value. It is incur before you can sell something, then you have to deduct those costs. Yeah, and if you come up that, or if you find out that the net realizable value is lower than your costs, you have to do a write down. Yeah, there are some there's an exception. If you have materials and other supplies held for the use in the production of inventories, they are not written down if the finished products in which they will be incorporated are expected to be sold at or above costs. Yeah, so that means essentially, if the firm does not intend to sell the materials, yeah, but the finished products, which is normal, yeah, that the company sells the finished product, then it's not the selling price of the materials that is relevant, but rather it's the selling price of the finished product. Yeah. Yeah. When there are write-downs, there can also be write-ups. But the write-ups is limited to the amount of the original write-down. Yeah, so there is an upper limit. Yeah, so there is an, if you have a write-down, yeah, and you can in subsequent periods you can write it up, but only to the amount of the original write-down. So this is the upper this is the upper bound, upper bound or upper limit. Yeah. So this is the rule. So there are write-downs. If a new assessment in subsequent periods shows that the net realizable value has gone up, yeah, then you can also write it up, but only to this upper limit. Then we talk about inventory turnover, and inventory turnover is a ratio that shows how many times a company's inventory is sold and replaced over a period of time. Yeah, and Essentially, the inventory turnover measures how fast the company is selling its inventory. Yeah, and you can compare it against industry averages, for example. And a high ratio implies either that the sales are strong, or it could also mean that there are large discounts. Yeah, and a low turnover, inventory turnover, on the other hand, implies weak sales, and therefore, for example, excess inventory. Yeah. So, but ideally, a company should operate with as little inventory as possible. Yeah, and the faster the sales, the better. Yeah. So that's why your inventory turnover should be as high as possible. Yeah, the higher the better. Yeah. It means that your inventory is replaced and sold a couple of times over a year. Yeah. Okay. So if there are no questions here, then we can go on and we can look at certain exercises. And you, first of all, you read the exercises and then you tell me your answer. Yeah, so this is the first exercise. So take a minute and then think about the answer and then tell me what is your answer. So this exercise is about inventory methods and which of those gives the highest net income and the highest asset value in times of rising prices. Yeah. Think about it 2 minutes and then tell me what is your answer. Okay, Ray Chan says it's a FIFO, and FIFO is correct. Yeah, very good, Ray Chan. FIFO is the correct answer. First in, first out. First in, first out means first in, first out. Last in, still here. Last in, still here. Yeah. So when prices rise, the goods that were bought later, last in, they have a higher asset value. Yeah. And this asset value sits on the balance sheet. Yeah. And FIFO also has a higher net income because the costs of goods sold are lower because it says first in, first out, and the first goods are cheaper. Yeah. So first in, first out is the correct answer. Very good. This is the second. Let's try to answer the second exercise again as well. How is inventory classified in financial statement? What is it? That's an easy one, isn't it? What is inventory? What is your answer? Maybe think about it. Asset, yeah. Asset is correct. Inventory is an asset. Inventories is asset. Expense, it's not an expense. Expense are costs of goods sold, yeah, but not inventory. Inventory is an asset. Good. This is the next one. Try to answer this one again. Here we have beginning inventory, we have purchases, we have sales, and we have a gross profit margin, and we should calculate ending inventory. So what is ending inventory? What is ending inventory? Try to solve this one. Try to solve this one. Do you already have an answer, or do you need some more time? I give you a little bit more time. Now 3 minutes. And but think about it, what the correct answer could be. Okay, there is a question, Raychan. Normal gross profit. Gross profit is sales minus cost of goods sold sales minus cost of goods sold divided by sales. That's the gross profit margin, yeah, or gross profit. Yeah. And if you look at it here, you have sales here, and the question, of course, is what is cost of goods sold? Yeah, but when you have your gross profit margin, then you can calculate cost of goods sold. We'll try to do that. What is your cost of goods sold? Yeah, cost of goods sold based on costs of inventory. Maybe I give you a hint. Yeah, I give you a hint. If the question asks what is ending inventory. So ending inventory is beginning inventory inventory plus purchases. Yeah, plus purchases minus costs of goods sold So, and if you think about it, you have beginning inventory, you have the purchases, yeah, beginning inventory, you have it, yeah, you have the purchases. The question now is, what is cost of goods sold? Yeah, and I have given you a hint. I have said the normal gross profit margin is 40%. Yeah, so 40% of sales is gross profit. That means that actually 60% of sales, 60% of sales equal cost of goods sold. Yeah, because 40% is your gross profit. Yeah, so if you have a gross profit of 40%, that means 60% have to be cost of goods sold. Yeah, exactly. Very good, Liang, and very good. Very good. D is the correct answer. D is the correct answer because you have to take 110,000 plus 260,000 minus 60% times 470,000. Yeah. So this is ending inventory. Very, very good. D is correct. Does that make sense to you, or are there any questions? If you have a gross profit margin of 40%, that means that 60% of the sales are costs of goods sold, and cost of goods sold is what leaves your inventory. Yeah. So, and if you want to calculate ending inventory, you start with the beginning inventory. You add your purchases. You have to deduct cost of goods sold, because cost of goods sold is what leaves your inventory account. Are there any questions? It's clear, yeah? This is the next one. This is the next exercise. Try to solve this as well. Here we have a company which has cost of goods sold of 145. The beginning and ending inventories were 15,000. So 50,000 were the beginning, and 25,000 is the ending. Yeah, so this is beginning, and this is the ending. Here, cost of goods sold are 145,000. 145,000 cost of goods sold is what leaves your inventory. Yeah, because when the company is selling the goods, yeah, cost of goods sold leave your inventory account. So what are purchases for the period? Exactly, yeah. So again, we have our formula: ending inventory equals beginning inventory plus purchases minus cost of goods sold. And now you have to solve for the purchases. Yeah, you have to solve for the purchases. And Ray-chan and Liang, you have already calculated it. C is correct. Yeah, your calculation is correct. So C is the right answer. Yeah. It's 25K plus 145K minus 15K equals 155K. 20. Okay. Oh, sorry. Plus. Yeah. So C is correct. Good. Then let's move to the next one. Here we have a company which uses FIFO. Yeah, which uses FIFO. and we have to calculate cost of goods sold for the period. So try to solve this. Here you have the exercise, the assumptions of the exercise. Okay, Liang says C, 200, 270, 275. Yeah. So let's think about it. We have actually the assumption is that we have to sell 40 units. Yeah. So, and before we have bought several goods. Yeah. So the question really is, which of those goods do we sell? We have to sell 40 units. So we have FIFO. That's why we take the first in, first out. First in, first out. You take 15 times 5. Yeah, because here the unit cost is 5. Plus, and the question is now, how many do we have left? If we take 15 of those, we have 25 left. Yeah, because 15 are this, and then we have to take 25 of those. Yeah. Plus 25 times 8. Yeah, because these 25, they have cost 8 each. Yeah. And the correct answer is 275. Very good, Liang. Yeah, very good. 275 is the correct answer. Does that make sense to all of you? Why we take 25 of those here? Because we have FIFO, and FIFO means first in, first out. Yeah. So the last, FIFO-ish. Yeah. Last in are still here, and they are not yet in cost of goods sold. They are still on the balance sheet, the last ones. So that's why those here, they do not belong to our sales. They are still on the balance sheet. These are the last one, are still on the balance sheet. Okay, very good. Let's move on. This is the next one. Try this one. the firm's FIFO ending inventory. Inventory. So this is on the balance sheet. Yeah, on the balance sheet. FIFO-lish. Yeah. First in, first out, last in, still here. So which now we're talking about last in, still here. What's the ending inventory if we use FIFO? Yeah, you say C is correct. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. If C is correct, 210. What is the ending inventory? And let's have a look here. So we have said that we have sold 25 of those. Yeah. So that leaves 15 on the balance sheet. Yeah, that leaves 15 on the balance sheet. So what do we have to calculate? We have to take 15 because they are not sold times 8 because 8 is the value. 15 times 8 plus, and we have to take all of them. And this is 210. Yeah. You can of course also calculate it in a different way, but it's important that the answer is 210, and C is the correct answer. Yeah. Okay, very good. Then this is the next question. Try to solve this. This is about average cost of ending inventory. So this is not FIFO or LIFO, this is average. So try this one. Try this one. So, okay, Liang has said 10, C, sorry. Let's have a look how to approach this. So here we're talking about the average ending, yeah, average cost of ending inventory. So average cost of ending. So what do we have to take? We have, first of all, we have to calculate what is the average cost, and therefore we take the total costs, and divide it by the number of units. So total costs divided by the number of units. Let me see. What is the total? I have to calculate total costs divided by the number of units. And the total costs are 75 plus 320 plus 90. And this is 485 divided by the number of units. And the number of units is 65. So it is 485 divided by 65. And the answer is 7.46. Yeah. That's the average, weighted average cost. Yeah. And now we have to look how many are still there. And we have how many was it? I think it was 35. Oh, what was it? 25. 25 is still there. So 25, 7.46 times 25. 7.46 times 25 equals exactly a rate turn equals 187. Yeah. Well, so it's you have to round. Yeah. Rounding. This is rounding, but so the correct answer is very good. Yeah, very good. The answer is 187. Yeah, does that make sense? Okay. Very good job. Then we have let's have a break and see you in 15 minutes.